Triumph Motorcycles has always been known for their modern classic Bonneville series of bikes. You had the Thruxton R, the super committed cafe racer to get your blood pumping. And if you just wanted to enjoy just a leisurely cruise down the countryside, you even had the T120. But what if you wanted to have just a little more fun down that countryside? Well, there's an answer to that too. Meet the new Triumph Speed Twin. The Speed Twin is based on the cafe racing Thruxton, and apart from just the looks, Triumph has made some drastic changes to the bike. The biggest change comes in the form of weight savings, a whole 10 kgs to be exact. The frame is brand new and the down tubes that form the cradle are made of aluminium. The engine, while the same as the Thruxton, gets a new magnesium cam cover, a lighter clutch assembly and some lighter engine covers that contribute to about 2.5 kgs of savings. Even the wheels are lighter, and this helps with lowering rotational mass. One look at the Speed Twin and you fall in love, especially if you love the way old motorcycles look. The bike is entirely naked and goes from head to tail with the slightest bits of modernity thrown in. Take the headlamp for example, perfectly round and perfectly hiding the set of LED DRLs within the unit. The tank is nice and chunky and features the Monza gas cover pushed nicely to one side. The dash too is more retro than modern. A twin-pod analog dial features the speedometer and the tachometer. It also gets small digital inserts for all your secondary information from gear position indicator to fuel level and range to empty to riding modes. Getting down to brass tacks, the Twin exudes confidence. Swing one leg over and you immediately feel how big and yet how compact the bike really is. The sound of the 1200cc parallel twin is the same familiar deep gurgle that we have come to love over the ages. The engine, as I mentioned before, is the same as the one in the Thruxton and delivers an identical power figure at 97 PS and 112 Nm of torque. That is probably where most of the similarities end though. Thanks to the light clutch assembly, shifting through the 6-speed gearbox is cakewalk.
The thing that thrills me the most about this bike though is the sheer amount of torque available from right down in the rev range. I can easily pull away at a higher gear without the bike hesitating even in the slightest.
Of course, I've been riding mostly in rain mode, but sport mode can really liven things up in the twisties. The Twin has switchable traction control too, so there's still that little bit of customizability. Suspension is a little on the firmer side, so while it is amazing on a smooth road and cutting corners around the mountains, it can be a tiny bit rocky on bumpy roads. Plus, the front forks are non-adjustable while the rear gets only preload adjustability. While coming to a halt, the actually mounted Brembo brakes provides all the stopping power you need, with good initial bite and a really nice progression. In terms of ergonomics, you sit a little more comfortable than the Thruxton. The handlebars are wider and higher, so you're not stooping down too much. The footrests too, while still rear set, sit 38mm forward and 4mm lower than the Thruxton. This will allow you to stay in the saddle longer, plus your feet are positioned just right to lift your bum on slight bumps. What is a little bit of a problem though is that my knees don't quite reach the sides of the tank. Instead, I end up hitting the engine and that is hot. Speaking of which, heat management is alright. Stuck in traffic and it can get a little toasty around your thighs, but on the move there is barely anything to complain about. All in all, the Speed Twin aims to give you the best of both the Thruxton and the T120. A little faster than the T120 and a little more comfortable than the Thruxton.
The Speed Twin is a stunning bike. It's beautiful to look at, a pleasure to hear and pure delight to ride. It commands presence on the street and you won't find yourself frowning even for a bit. Well, except for when your pony is egging you on and you're stuck in traffic.